There we go. What are you? Gotta remember, 4-pound test. Ow! Get in there. All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm gonna do this really quick here because I got a late start to the day, and it's gonna be really hot today. I knew I kind of jinxed myself by saying it's so cold out in September, and it was gonna be freaking hot later in the month, and now it's hot later in the month. It's like 85, 88 or something today, and then it's gonna be hot for the next week here. So hoping that didn't mess up the fall like transition bite, because that's what I'm on one of the giant bodies of water I like to go out on and chase big panfish and walleye and perch and white bass and stuff like that. I'm gonna see where everything's at. Hopefully today I can find some big bluegills and maybe some walleye. We will see how things go, because I haven't been out here all year, and yeah, usually I kind of follow the fish around from spring to fall and you know where they're at, but today is just fishing. We're just looking and gonna try and figure it out. So come figure it out with me, and hopefully, like I said, we find some big bluegills. That's one thing I want to try and get my hands on. If I can find some perch, that'd be friggin' awesome. But everything's on the table right now. I have a little bit of everything rigged up, ready to go, kind of cover top to bottom, and yeah, wish me luck. Okay, I think first things first, we're gonna do half a red worm on a drop shot, see what we can come up with here. Of course, the spot that I wanted to fish already has a wake boat cruising around on it because it's nice out. But mind you, this is the middle of the week, so I figured there wouldn't be anybody out here, but you know, guess I'm wrong most of the time when it comes to these guys. Okay. Keep marking suspended fish. Just kind of came out over the basin here to see, well, that's the edge of the basin, but basically just interested to see what is swimming around out here on the brake lines. Okay, cruised around deep, see if there's anything stacked up, and I found a couple fish that were stacked up, but problem is they wouldn't bite anything. So now I'm back to the shallow water, see if we can convince anything that's up here to bite. Seems like the fish are kind of scattered around right now, probably because of the changing fronts constantly. So we're gonna have a hard one today, I have a feeling, but hopefully it's not too bad and can put something together for at least a video for coming out here. First fish is a bluegill. Look at that. They do exist. Oh, what you guys saw last, but it's been a long time. It's not a giant, but he's the first fish of the day, and I am happy. Thank you. Okay, now that I found where some bluegills are, I'm gonna see if I can make a cast or two and possibly get some of the bigger ones. A lot of times the really big ones tend to eat meat, well, minnows, but since I don't have any regular minnows, I'm just gonna throw artificial, see if anybody wants it. Right next to the boat. Oh, there's a little bit bigger one. So there are a few in the weeds. Just on a weed flat here. Okay, hopefully you guys saw that one. About an 8.5 incher. And what I was saying is, I'm just kind of hopping around. There's a weed flat right here, and I'm basically I'm just trying to cast into the holes. And that's it. Like nothing more complicated. Just straight up find holes. Try to get the bobber to stand up so that's not sitting on a weed. I think it's like, yeah, it's 10 feet deep right here, but I have that set like 7.5 feet down, something like that. So it's just into the weeds because they're like 5 feet. I think they're about halfway down, 6 foot. So yeah, that's what I'm basically doing, is just trying to get it to go down between the weeds. If you guys can see what I'm talking about, down between the weeds. And yeah, that one I just was reeling in and I saw a weed pocket, so I dropped it in the weed pocket. That dude came up from the bottom and ate it. The trick here is not finding the fish. It has nothing to do with that. Today we're finding where the fish are supposed to be. Well, go figure. My GoPro overheated, so I threw it in my cooler on top of the ice so that it would start working again. And I was like, I'm just going to keep fishing because I don't know when it's going to work again. So I just kept moseying along this weed line, and I was just throwing my my slip bobber, which I now have to get a new jig for it, but little chartreuse jig, simple light slip bobber. It's set up for like bluegills and crappies and perch, like super light. And made a cast in front of me, was letting line out, looked up and was like, where'd the bobber go? I just started reeling. He was there. This always happens to me. Every time I'm moving and grooving, I get sidetracked or something doesn't work or whatever. But I'm going to show you this thing. I think it's a keeper, and if it is, I'm going to keep it. So let me get it out of the net here, and we'll see how big it is. Okay, so I measured it. It's just under 18. They have to be 18 inches out here to keep, and I'm not one of those guys that's gonna like stretch the fish and stretch the tail. If it's just under, I never keep them because I ain't getting in trouble for keeping an undersized fish. Otherwise, this thing probably, if I pinch the tail perfectly, it'd be 18. But this guy's lucky. If it was a 15-inch limit, I would be keeping it. But let's get it back and try to get another one on film. Like I said, go figure, you know, GoPro's dead in the cooler, and make a couple casts, and it was a gimme fish too. Like I was just zoning out. It's like 90 degrees out, it feels like. I'm sweating my butt off, and I just like looked up. I thought I was going insane. I'm like, didn't I just cast my bobber out? And then I like reeled up and I could see the bobber just taking off, so I just reeled down and set the hook on himself. Like I said, it was a gimme fish and I'll take it, but I wish I would have caught it on film. Okay, let's see if we can get the next one on film. But now that I know this area has a walleye in it, usually there's a couple more if I can find them. So I'm just gonna keep following this weed line and see what happens. Okay, new beefier jig put on, same weight, but I'm gonna see if we can find some on purpose here. Fish on. Ooh, is that a big bluegill? Am I recording? Damn. Hey. Knew I'd run into you guys eventually. Is it a big 9? Maybe 9.5? I don't need the bump board, that girl. I've had somebody ask me recently, I don't know when you're going to see this, but so the easiest thing for me to tell when I know that's a girl is their heads are more arrow shaped, corncob belly, littler ear tabs generally. I mean, bigger fish is going to have a bigger ear tab. But sometimes they're pointy versus like the males will tend to have like a big $half or something like that. Thanks for playing, big girl. That was cool. Fun fact, they get bigger than that. Well, now I'm really glad I kept moving along this weed line. Still looking for more walleyes, but I will take every big bluegill that wants to play. It's just one of those days where be happy catching fish, and on this body of water, the bluegills can get really big. So every once in a while you get lucky and get some monsters. All right, guys, I don't know exactly what you're gonna see last. Probably me struggling, or I think it was the walleye. Yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 hours here. Seeing fish, getting bites, not connecting with anything. But I have one more spot I wanna go try before I have to get off the water. Yeah, it's like 90 degrees outside and I am over the heat. But I'm hoping this last spot that I have in mind might work. It's a little mid-lake hump. Usually it's got some fish later in the day, and I am here later in the day, so I'm gonna go give it a try and see what we find. What's that? Random bluegill on the hump. I figured these guys would be out here too, but really hoping to run into some walleye. Kind of toss the slip bobber around this hump a little bit. See if there's anything worth catching out here. It's been a pretty tough day, but like I was saying, the fronts and everything coming through. Oh, there we go. What are you? Gotta remember, 4-pound test. Ow! Get in there. Little walleye. I wonder if there's any bigger ones out here. Well, we might just turn the day around. I got like an hour left. What are you? Bluegill on the frickin' minnow. Running into weeds over here, and I was like, well, maybe there's a crappie in there. Of course the bluegill eats it. All right, guys, as you guys can see, the sun is setting over there yonder, and yeah, it's getting dark, so I think that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna do any night fishing out here today. Got a long drive home, and yeah, I was this close to getting a walleye dinner though, this close. But so yeah, I was basically just trying to get a bead or an understanding of where the fish are right now, and yeah, I'll try to follow them through the fall. So I know some fish are on the humps, some fish are on the weed lines. There were some fish in about 20-25 feet of water, so they're kind of scattered right now, but the water is still like 70 or something like that, 69. So the big thing here is going to be how long does it take for the water to cool down, and basically that's going to dictate how active the fish are. So once the water starts dropping in temp, the fish start biting. So looking forward to those days, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I know it was just kind of all over the place, but like I said, I haven't been on this lake all year, and it was one of those things that I just needed to get out here and try and catch some fish. I did catch some fish, so I would consider it a success. And like I said, I was this close to getting that walleye dinner. All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little struggle bus. I don't know when you're going to see this one, but yeah, if you're new here, subscribe. We struggle once in a while, and then other days we can slam fish. So either way, hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Like I said, I'll see you guys next time.